Hi everyone. Hey, I just want to thank you so much for participating in this virtual class. I don't like it any more than you guys do, but at least you're out there stamping and creating, and it is kind of fun for me to do videos and to still feel like I'm connecting with you. Also, it's really great for my business to keep everything going instead of just coming to a screeching halt. So I just want to thank you so much for doing it this way. This month is the masking technique, and I've made videos for all the cards, but I just want to show you what we're doing. The first one is Healing Hugs. And then second card is from Seaside Notions. They're all different colors and a little bit different type of masking. This one is way different because I've made my own by cutting out an oval shape and masked the inside of the card. This is from, what's it called? Morning Star. And I didn't use any star. I just used these pretty vines and flowers. Yeah, so anyway, I hope you enjoy it and like your cards, and please email me or give me a call if you guys have any questions at all. Okay, thanks a lot. Bye-bye. So let's get started. This is my first card for the technique class, and I've made this using the stamp set Healing Hugs. And I really like this stamp set because it's one of those distinctive stamp sets where you stamp one image and parts of it are darker than other parts. It's really a neat artistic look. And I wanted to show you, since you're just getting kits but not the stamp sets, you guys need to use your own. I'll show you another one I just did, and it's very similar. This card uses Timeless Tropical, and that's this set right here, and I use the big hibiscus here. So when I did this, first I stamped the middle hibiscus, and then on a post-it note I stamped it again. Can't see which way it goes. Oh yeah, this way. And then I stamped it again and stuck it down, and then I stamped the side ones. So then when you remove it, it appears that the center hibiscus is a little bit closer and these two are in the background. So it's a really useful technique and pretty simple. So here's another example for you that you could have used is another set is something like this, because I thought about stamping this or these and then masking them and doing a couple to the side. So it'll be fun to see what you guys come up with. Anyway, let's get started with this one. So I just started, this time I'm using Very Vanilla cardstock, and you'll get this in your kit. This is your typical card base. Just fold it in half, and I cut it down. Instead of cutting it 1/4 of an inch more, I did a real skinny one, 1/8 of an inch, and then for my top one, it's another 1/8 of an inch, so it's real skinny borders. And I never glue them together until I like to stamp first, and the reason is if you mess up, then you can just switch it over and do the opposite side. So I will get started with this. I'm using Grapefruit Grove for the flowers. And I wanted to show you how I actually do my masked, how I do this, starting with the Post-it note. Okay, so, you know, the sticky part is at the top. You want to make sure you get a little bit of that sticky part when you're going to cut it out, because it'll stick. Okay, so I'm cutting out my image. The nice thing is after you've cut out the image, so I don't know if I can cut and talk at the same time? I guess I can. But after you cut out your image on the Post-it, you can reuse this. And I just stick them in the in my stamp set, right on the, where is it? I stick them like in the cover here, like that, so that I can use them again. Okay, but let me show you how it's done. So I'm all ready with this. I'm gonna, can't tell which way I did it. Oh well, I'll figure it out. So I'll just stamp one first. And I'm going to put this one over it and mask it. Okay. These two other roses will kind of appear to be in the background. So that's what you do. You actually, let me do leaves first in case I want to do it over the masking. I'm using old olive for some leaves. Oh, what happened? I think I should have inked up my old olive a little better. Bah. Oh well. I think that's okay. Okay. Then if I take it off, that's basically what it's going to look like. I'm going to just add a sentiment at the top in Blackberry Bliss so that it goes with the background paper. If you don't have Blackberry Bliss ink, I would use like Rich Razzleberry or Memento, something darker. Sending you healing vibes. When I stamp, I don't just go like this really quickly. It doesn't, it's gonna, the ink is gonna soak in and do a better job if you stamp and you push in the middle a little bit and lift it straight up and leave it for about 4 seconds or so before you lift it up. Then you'll get a nicer image. And the other thing is don't go like this and rock it back and forth. It actually worked great there, but sometimes it'll leave, see the little, I don't know if you could see them, but there's ink around the edge and sometimes it'll leave a little shadow that you don't want. That's it. I just finished off the card by gluing it. Make sure you got the flap at the bottom. There we go. I used a little Wink of Stella. Now look at the difference. This one was before it was inked up. This is after. And I think I actually like the before because it shows off the distinctive stamp a little better. Or maybe it's just because it had Wink of Stella and I love that stuff. Because I already like the way it looks a lot better with that on it. Oh yeah, and let me put, see, I ran out of these things too. I gave you some in your packets. but I'm just going to use, actually, let me use diamonds. I think I like that better. Actually, rhinestones. They're not real diamonds. Okay, here it goes. Okay, I'm happy with that. Can you guys see sparkle? I don't think you can, but it's really pretty. Hello again. Okay, card number 2 is a cute seahorse card. And the stamp set on this is called Seaside Notions. It's in the big annual catalog, and it's really cute. I like the font on the sentiments too. They're really nice. And so to do this, you guys grab the packet that has the colors are Smoky Slate, and then I've used the rectangle dies to cut out Soft Sea Foam and Very Vanilla, and then I cut out a little bit larger piece just for a contrast behind the Very Vanilla, and that is Night of Navy. Okay, so that's what you're working with. Now, you guys will be able to, you know, glue these together, but don't glue down your Very Vanilla piece until you finish stamping it, just in case you mess up, okay? And the mask for that, I didn't use a Post-it for this. I used some, there is a thing called, I'll show you. Now, this is years and years old, so I don't know where you get it, but I would think Ben Franklin would probably have it, or Joann's or those kind of places. And they're clear sheets. And the nice thing about these is that the Post-it notes, the sticky stuff wears off after a few times, and this stuff is lightly sticky, you know, on the whole image. So I really like these. And you don't want to, you can see it's kind of a pain to cut those out, you know, because they're so intricate. There, you can see it over that. But so when you do fussy cut out the image, you're going to want to just keep it inside your stamp case, and just like this, just keep it in there so you can use it over and over. Okay, so let me find where I put that. Oh, here they are. Okay, so I'm going to start with the seahorse and stamp it with Night of Navy. And I'm pressing on the center too, just because it's not a tiny stamp. I want to make sure that the center gets all the ink also. And then I am putting my mask on it. Come here. Okay, that looks good. For the seashells, I did something a little different and I really liked it. So I'm going to stamp it first with soft sea foam, which is a light green. It's really pretty. And how did I do it? I think I went straight over the tail like that. And then I just turned it around. Let me do the same thing. Oh, this thing's coming off. It's weird. Stick that on again here. Okay, then after I did it with this one, I stamped it in Sahara sand right over it, and it, it moved, it wasn't directly on the top, but it looks really neat. I like the way it turned out. So that's what I'm going to do again. Just kind of eyeball it and where did I have sand? Okay. See, and I'll take off my mask. And I'm going to put happy birthday on the top. Let me stick this in so I don't forget it. Oh, darn, I forgot the sand. Just a second to do it again. The sand I did in Sahara sand. That's better. There you go. And then happy birthday in blue, or night of navy. Straight enough. It's pretty good. Okay. So that's basically all I'm doing. I'm going to, I'll give you guys envelopes too, so you can do something on your envelope. What do I want to do? I don't know. I'd usually just do a seahorse, but I like these little shells. I'll just leave that. Okay, now we're gluing it all together. So now I did it really well, so I can glue. I usually I close my stamp pads. The first reason is so they don't dry out, and the second, but almost just as important reason, is because they're kind of magnets for all your perfect stamped images. They'll go straight into the night of navy or something. So you don't want that. I like to use Tombow because it gives me a few seconds to reposition everything. Your blue one is basically just the edges that you're going to get a contrast. This one, I like these rectangles. I don't know if you guys have those yet, but you might want to think about them. I think my favorite ones I couldn't do without are stitched, what are they called? Stitch shapes. But the rectangles and all those other ones, the layering circles and stuff, those are just awesome. There you go. I think that's it. Of course, you could add a little bling or some Wink of Stella if you want, but yeah, hope you guys enjoy this card, and we just have one more to go. Hi, everyone. Okay, this is our third card we're doing for the masking class, and this one's a little bit different because I'm not doing the stamp and then covering up the big image with a Post-it note. I actually masked off a portion of the card. I kind of made my own mask, and this is cut out with a large oval, and then that way you know, what it means is that it's masked off, and I turned it the opposite way and did it there. So this card that I did, I started with Morning Star, which is in the mini catalog, and I actually really love this, not for the star images really, but for the flowers and the leaves, because they're distinctive. You see how they're dark and light in the same stamp. I just love this. And also I really like the colors. It's a mint macaron and Highland heather. I think they're really pretty together. So before I do this card, I want to show you my alternatives. Okay, so I really love this one too. I didn't do this one till after, but you guys can do this yourself by just getting a piece of cardstock and either punching or die cutting a circle in the middle of it. And then you just match it up and do all your stamping with some smaller stamps all in the circle. And when you pull off your, you know, the cardstock that has the circle cut in it, then this is what you're going to get. And it's beautiful. It's really neat and pretty simple. So that's just another idea. Then I wanted to make you a third one, which is very different. It was easy to do these with small floral images and things like that, but I kind of challenged myself, found this one that was in, where is it? Hang on. Here it is. It's in this set called 9 Lives with the cat, because I needed a cat card. Malia's getting a cat. So I think she totally knew, she's excited about it. She's going to go down to the Humane Society and pick one out maybe today or tomorrow. So I want to get her a kitty card or make her one. Anyway, so it's the same thing. I just masked this off, put a bunch of the small images in there, and instead of the sentiment, I had this fits in fine because it's kind of the same size. I did the cat and punched it out with my cat punch. Isn't that cute? So that's just another idea. Okay, so I'm excited to see what you guys will do, because it's a challenge when I'm giving you guys these kits, and in case you don't have the same stamp set. Anyway, this is what you're pulling out of your kit, the one with the Highland head. Okay, sorry about that. I got interrupted. So grab this kit. I'm going to fold my Thick Whisper White, and I've got, I cut all these down just by 1/4 of an inch, mint macaron and Highland heather. So let me work on the white one. Now to do that, I cut you guys all a piece to fit the white cardstock, which is, let me see, 4 3/4 by 3 1/2. So I cut this piece of, it's an old retired cardstock. I cut it just the same, and I used I don't know if this is the one. Yeah, it must be. So I used an oval and cut that out just to make the shape, okay? But you can all keep that and use it. So I just get it together. I'm just holding on to it. I don't move it. So hopefully you won't have trouble with that. Mint macaron, this really pretty, like an ivy kind of thing. And again, you're just making sure you don't move your template, because you're kind of committed now. Oops. Okay, oops, I shouldn't have done that. Okay, let me do the flowers. I think you want to make sure you get, you don't leave it real white around here when I pull it off then you see the oval a lot better. It almost looks like designer series paper, don't you think? It's really neat. So I'm just turning it upside down, doing the same thing again. Here I go. So any kind of small images would work really well with this. Do a little. Okay, and then purple. I think that's about enough. Okay, let's see what it does. Yay! So there's where I masked off, and I have stamped something with a, this is called Story Label. And I think I gave you 2 in case you get it really crooked. You only get, well, I guess that makes like 4 chances. So this is a really nice one. What's that from? I can't remember. Oh, I know what it is. I like this one. It says, "Friends are flowers in the garden of life." It's from A Big Thank You. So you do your own sentiment or whatever you guys come up with. Well, it's not perfect, but I'm gonna take it. I think it'd be really fun if you guys sent me pictures of what you do, because you have different stamp sets. I'd really like to see what you guys come up with. Popping this one up if you want with some dimensionals. Okay, there you go. That's all there is to it. Hope you had fun doing this, and thank you so much for doing this virtual class. I know it's not as much fun as being all together in person, but sure appreciate it and hope you guys have fun stamping. Okay, bye-bye.